Hey, what's up, witches? It's me, Luna, here with an unboxing for you. This is an oracle deck today that I've had on my wish list for literally years, and I finally jumped on it. But there was a misunderstanding because years ago I got this one, Angelarium Oracle of Emanations, and at the same time, this deck came onto my radar, Mausolea Oracle of Souls, and I thought that they were like companions, you know, parts 1 and 2. And so I was really, looking forward after this one to getting this one finally. And I haven't looked at this one again in a while, but what I have found out is they are not related in any way. And I mean, you can understand why just by the way the titles are, but the Angelarium, different author, different artist, entirely different deck. So now I turn my attention to this one, which is Mausolea Oracle of Souls. This is, all it says is illustrated by Jason Engel. And we have glossy here with silver. This is the same size as all of Los Scarbeo's Oracle decks. Again, all it says is illustrated by Jason Engel. It doesn't say anything about the author. So I don't know. One assumes there's an Italian author and there's a translation. I don't know. Let's find out. Book and 36 oracle cards, a unique dark fantasy world where myths and legends are woven together to create a tapestry of souls. There's finger pulls, which is nice because when you have glossy boxes like this and there's some gloss on the inside thing here, it can kind of stick against the rest of the box. Okay, let's go in. And as you can see, I have not looked at the deck at all. So here's the book. Let's find out what's going on here. Illustrated by Jason Engel, text by Rabbit Stoddard, with additional writing by Jason Engel. Translations by Studio RGE. Okay. So again, it's still kind of a mystery. There's no mention, and I'm going to get just as grumpy as I get when there's no mention of the artist. That makes me grumpy. No mention of the author except in the copyright page kind of makes me grumpy too. You guys, it's a pair, right? Okay. Mausolea Oracle of Souls. Death comes to all mortals, and when their time is upon them, it is but a beginning, a door to another world. Mausolea is a vision of the world beyond, the place our souls may travel to after death. It is a place that is knit together from many of the stories that exist in all corners of the ancient world, full of heroes and gods of myth and legend. It is the true essence of these personalities and the stories they inhabit that is intended to lend insight and reveal hidden truths of our own lives and the path we travel. The spirit world of Mausolea is comprised of countless realms, and this deck includes 6 of these great kingdoms, each a reflection of our own world. And from each of these has been selected 6 inhabitants who best represent certain qualities and ideals. It is the power of these personalities and traits that illuminate the path before you. There's a little grammar issue there, but punctuation. Anyway, 2 methods may be useful for reading with these cards: the Way of Paths and the Great Wheel. So the Way of Paths is 6 cards. Entry, self, obstacle, goal, next step, eternal force / guide, conclusion / final repose. And then the Great Wheel, the Traveler's Guide, draw it at random, the Call, nature of the path, uncanny aid, threshold, guardian, challenges, temptations, abyss, revelation, transformation, atonement, and return. Okay. A lot of additional information about Mausolea and the extraordinary artwork created for it can be found at the website mausolea.com. All right. So we have, all righty. So that's kind of all we get by way of introduction. Now, this is an LS deck, so of course we have we have English, Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Russian. 6 languages, so 32 pages is all we get for a 36 card deck. All right? The Republic of Pandemonium, and there's a description. The city of Pandemonium and its surrounding lands belong not to the gods, but to the archons of human achievement, ACHONS. These icons bound themselves in life not to gods or faiths, but to human ideals, becoming idols and objects of veneration in their own way. To dwell in Pandemonium is to still be bound by the temporal goals and abilities of a human life, whether the glory of success or the haunting specter of failure. Then we have those cards. Then we have the Kingdom of Hades. The realm of Hades is next to Pandemonium, the most mortal of the domains. This is perhaps due to the intensely human nature of the gods that dwell in and adjacent to it. To dwell in Hades is to express the care of the dead for the living, the inevitability of human nature, and the possibility of change, even past the point of no return. Then we have those. Then we have the afterworld of Annuin. The domain of Annuin is the ancient hunting ground of the gods, a land of myth and folklore. It is both wild and unpredictable, and bound by traditions, customs, and rituals as old as time itself. To dwell in Annuin is to be both bound and wild, ancient and childlike, fair and bestial. Then we have the Empire of Urkala. The names sound familiar to me, but I don't know why. A realm of bright and dark dualities. In Urkala, sorrow and joy are shared and balanced in equal measure. The gods of Urkala value obligation and sacrifice. Few who enter this domain are ever permitted to leave again. To dwell in Urkala is to accept the obligations of society, to seek a simple finite existence, and to understand the balance between one's rational mind and one's emotional experience. The Dominion of Duat. Okay, so that's Egyptian. Domain of Duat is the center of secrets, ritual, and mystery. In its temples and desert monuments, the true nature of being, reality, and creation are hidden, unlocked only through adherence to its rites and rituals. To dwell in Duat is to face the realities most hide from most thoroughly. How well do you know yourself, your desires, and whether your heart and intentions are pure? For in Duat, these will surely be judged. Okay, so hold on here. So in Pandemonium, Abraham the Justice is the first one. And then in Hades, Hades is the first dude, so that's Greek, obviously. Then Annuin is Aran, the master of the great hunt. Then we have Arthur and the Morgant, so that's Celtic. Okay, Urkala, Ereshkigal, the prince, Lilith. So it's not really cut and dried. And the first one in Duat is Osiris. Okay. Then we have the realm of Sheol. Like Urkala, the realm of Sheol, Sheol, is concerned with bright and dark dualities, where Urkala focuses on the emotional experience. However, Sheol centers the extremes of human sin and holiness. To dwell in Sheol is to submit to the judgment of the Absolute, to suffer between the difficult requirements of grace and the easy torments of corruption, and to have the courage to discover where you fall in your overall contribution of good to the world or evil. El Shaddai is the first one. Abaddon, Leper King. And those are the realms. So for each of the cards, we get the name of it, and there's a title. And then at the end, we get domains, which kind of look like keywords to me. All right, let's get to the cards. Let me get my little seam ripper. I hadn't realized that I hadn't deplasticked this deck, but that way you know it's a true unboxing. All right, so they are glossy. The back is this wonderful, intricate sigil-y looking thing that has absolutely nothing written about it in the book. Okay, here we go. Abraham, Justice of Pandemonium. Okay, let's look. I want to see how things coincide with the book. Justice of Pandemonium, Justice, Truth, Duty. Okay, so the domains are keywords, basically. All right. So we get this kind of mummified, skeletal-looking dude. There's a little scale hovering above his hand. He's got weapons, justice, truth, and duty. So the scale there certainly does relate to the justice part of it. There's a little symbol here. Do they all have that? Yes, they all have that symbol. The images, fill up the card side to side, and then we have the little border at top and bottom. All right. The Traveler, Keeper of the Crossroads. The thing that's kind of a bummer is we don't have, it's a big bummer. We don't have, shit. Now I get seriously grumpy. Try to guess what Luna is grumpy about now. So we have no numbers on the cards. We have them grouped according to 6, what are they called? 6 thingies. Comprised of 6 realms, kingdoms. And there is nothing on the card that indicates which kingdom this is from. So clearly they're not in any kind of alphabetical order. So to find the card in the book, you just have to page through. How easy would it have been to put a number? That's all. Just a number. So we know where to find the card in the book. That pisses me off. Steve Reich! The Traveler, Keeper of the Crossroads, Restlessness, Independence, Appraisal. So this definitely has a chariot-ish vibe to it. This interesting creature sitting in this interesting floating kind of chariot with this big, it's really, the artwork is fantastical and it is intriguing. I do find myself drawn to it. Look at this weird ass creature. Doesn't really have legs, and kind of a mask instead of a neck and a head. Okay. The Thinker, the Father of Knowledge, Knowledge, Instruction, Reinvention. The Exile, Forsaken Soldier, Strategy, Failure, Trauma. You certainly see, a general's war coat. It kind of reminds me of Napoleon, and the portraits of him. So we kind of do get the idea of strategy, but the failure and trauma, I guess, kind of this wasteland behind him. I'm looking back to see, we get the idea of going someplace here, and it's called the Traveler. We get the idea of the Thinker with the scroll in his hand. There's a quill up here. So there are points on the card. Look at the little blue flame in his head. We get hints in the images of what the keywords are about, but we do have the keywords, so it's not, we don't have to go strictly on the image, but there are things to draw from. The Maestro, let's see, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is card 5 in Pandemonium. The Maestro, the Master of Inspiration, Understanding, Community, Ingenuity. For community, it would have been nice to see some other people. The Poet of Avon, the Storyteller. There's Fucking Shakespeare, you guys. Fame, stagnation, and pride. Let's look him up. Okay, so he's the last one in Pandemonium. The poet of Avon clings too closely to his previous existence, both unable to forget his former achievements and unable to do anything but continue to replicate them. He eternally retreads the same ground he did in life, producing works for eager audiences who fuel his creative expression by feeding his ego with applause and encores. The poet of Avon teaches us that fame and adulation can be both reward and chain, and that one can use one's creative spark to feed oneself temporarily, but mind to look after spiritual food as well. Fame, stagnation, pride. So, I mean, the writing certainly is a good description of those keywords. Side quest, Avon. This is hilarious. I think it was when the Romans came to England, and they asked the native peoples what the names of the rivers were, and they'll say, "What's that?" And the Britannic people would say, "That's Avon," meaning river. So in England, there are a lot of rivers that are named Avon. So River Avon means river. Hilarious. Okay, now we go to the next realm, and it's the realm of Hades, and we have Hades here. Lord of riches, equanimity, wisdom, and inevitability. He's got a golden apple. Okay, so now we have, so the Pandemonium, okay. Yay, there's a guidepost. Pandemonium has that symbol. But you know what would be helpful? To show those symbols anywhere in the book and give us the information that little symbol will help us to find where the card goes. And again, and we have the symbol of Pluto here. Now, Pandemonium is just this circle with spokes, kind of like a wheel. This, and I'm seeing here, never mind. I was seeing here that Pluto symbol and thinking, oh, all the symbols of the different realms are going to be in this thing on the back, but I don't see the Pandemonium symbol. Okay. And this is one of the arguments of LS decks, is that we don't go in depth, particularly with the writing in the book, because we're doing it in so many languages. Okay, onward. Vanth, caretaker of the lost, respite, assistance, and memory. Looking like an angel. Charon, or Charon, the ferryman, necessity, focus, transition. I really like that image. Like this one, I don't really get, caretaker of the lost. I mean, she looks like she, first of all, and looks like she's certainly a guardian. Looks like she's kind of got a mask in her hand, or a skull. Okay. But the ferryman, I really like that. Then we have Mother of Dawn, the emissary. Beauty, agency, compassion. Okay. I just like what the card encapsulates. First of all, the emissary coming, look at the dawn showing up. I really like the brightness of the color. We have beauty, agency, and compassion. Okay, digging that. Thanatos, Warden of Dis. Warden of Dis? Dis what? Dis nut? I don't know. Completion, support, expediency. All right. Nyx, Enchantress of Night. Oh, I love her. Secrets, Vigilance, Subterfuge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm digging her. All right, now we are into the realm of Anun. Welsh, don't you know? Authority, and we have the Triscale, the triple spiral. Master Aran, master of the great hunt. Authority, the hunt, natural balance. Well, he certainly displays authority, doesn't he? And natural balance. Arthur, the champion of Avalon. Companionship. Okay, Arthur and his companions, I get it. Nobility, self-realization. Now, I love that too. Mostly because I have a real thing about Arthur. And here's the Morrigan, weaver of fate. Antipathy, introspection, and opposition. Look at her crows. Yes, I love her as well. Then we have Morgan Le Fay. Okay, I've just made friends with this deck. Or this deck has just made friends with me, so okay, I'm in. The Witch of Ages, atonement, growth, and deceit. I gotta see. Atonement. Atonement for a witch. A treacherous, deceitful villain in life, Morgan Le Fay spent an age in atonement for her wickedness before being set free to wander where she wished in Anun. A trickster and shapeshifter, she takes on the form and nature of all she encounters, the better to learn of it and its place in the world beyond. Morgan Le Fay reminds us that through service, even the wickedest among us may learn from our misdeeds, that a lie is a tool which can be used for good or for ill, and the best way to learn of others is to spend a while walking in their footsteps. Now, I will preface this by saying that I just started reading Mists of Avalon again for probably and I'm playing hide and seek with the light here, for probably the 30-somethingth time, and so this version of Morgan Le Fay flies in the face of my understanding, but it's a myth. Okay, let me get over it. It's a myth. But Morgan Le Fay, in the classic, interpretation of the Arthur stories, is seen as a witch and evil, and she brings about Arthur's downfall and all of that stuff. So, okay, I can go with that. I'm just happy she's here. Then we have Danu, mother of creation. Motherhood, ferocity, and creation. I love the 4 arms. Okay, yeah, I am digging the artwork, you guys. And then we have Dawn, the red shepherd. Just reward, evaluation, respite. So we've had respite in a couple cards here. Really? Okay, wait. Gotta find it. Okay, so Vanth is also respite, and that means just a break, getting a break. Assistance memory, this is just reward evaluation. Okay, that doesn't really bother me too much. And now we are into Urkala, I believe. Yes, we are into the realm of Urkala. And we have this, and see, I see that symbol there. I see the triple spirals. I wonder if that, I'm still not seeing that. I guess maybe this whole thing might be that first symbol. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. A little less grumpiness, but here we go. Ereshkigal, Queen of Shadows. Wrath, instability, suspicion. She's something. The Prince, the forgotten adversary. Sorrow, lost valor, serendipity. There's so many I mean, it seems like the keywords, and this is a good thing. Sometimes keywords are just synonyms, which kind of really narrows the meaning of the card, but these certainly are not. Sorrow, lost valor, but serendipity is like a I gotta look it up thing. Okay, the prince. The shattered remains of a once great devil who fought against the rulers of Urkala and lost badly. An empty but still fearsome shell, his very presence as he wanders the borders of the realm serves to chase away the constant encroachers from the outer darkness who were once his allies. Although he himself has no memory, the prince reminds us that to dwell in disgrace, sorrow and loss, to dwell in disgrace, sorrow, and loss has an impact on the world around us, sometimes unlooked for benefits and sometimes ironic self-sabotage. Not a single mention of serendipity there. Wow. That's my husband coughing downstairs. Lilith, thief of life. Oy. Hunger, animalism, and instinct. So this is clearly not a deck that is reclaiming images of femininity. Hunger, animalism, and instinct. Wow. Martyr, matron of the blind. Honesty, shame, restitution. I'm just, okay, so I can track here. Honesty, if we are honest with ourselves, look at matron of the blind, honest enough to look at ourselves and see what's there, we may feel shame around some of the things we've done. Look at the blood on the wings. And then make restitution. Eternal servitor, the ancient wanderer. No, it's not. Hope, incompleteness, yearning. Then we have Lady of Masks, the Shaper. Wow. Reclamation, vanity, surface appearance. Okay. Reclamation. They're certainly making me think, and that's not a bad thing. And now we are in the realm of Duat. Osiris, God King of Duat, commitment, acquisition, responsibility. And we have matriarch, mother of homestead, rejection, opportunities, consequence, mother of homestead, matriarch, and we get rejection. Yeah. It's just, okay, I'm reminding myself of the description here, a unique dark fantasy world. I need to look at her. A noble queen, the matriarch lived a righteous life free from sins that would weigh her heart when she came before the scales of Anubis. Okay, wait. I want to go farther back. To the introduction again. A vision of the world beyond, the place our souls may travel to after death. Okay. It is the true essence of these personalities and stories they inhabit that's intended to lend insight and reveal hidden truths of our own lives and the path we travel. All right. So looking at, the realm of death, the afterlife, all that, these could be things that we have to confront in ourselves. I mean, and certainly the biggest wound from a mother or matriarch is rejection. Opportunities, consequences. Okay, Golden Empress, Jewel of Abydos. Oh, look at her. Potency, confidence, magnetism, and we see there's the Ankh with the crook and flail, and that's on the back of the card. Okay. Hathor, Mistress of Harmony, Mediation, Communication, Culture. And Anubis, arbiter of truth, preservation, neutrality, obligation. Hi, baby. I love him so much. And then we have Set, prince of avarice, short-sightedness, ambition, and narcissism. Ooh! All right, and now, is this the last one, I believe? Yes, this is the realm of Sheol. We have El Shaddai, the radiant Lord, wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. Abaddon, overlord of the abyss, pestilence, corruption, malice. Ay, ay, ay. Jean, the maid. So is this like Jeanne d'Arc? Guardian of saints, humility, disillusionment, champion. The leper king, sword of law, bravery, self-discipline, faith. See, I don't know. Oh, here's something I'm noticing. These are not cut right. Yep. You see that? There's, hold on. There's an edge that, oh, and it doesn't even line up. Wow. So we kind of have this, or, no. All right. So they're not cut straight. I mean, they're cut straight as at the edges, but they're not, the image isn't cut right. There's a little sliver of the next image on that card. Okay. The leper king, sword of law. And you see, so he is self-discipline, bravery, and faith. Bravery, self-discipline, faith, sword of law. We have the ageless, the light and the darkness, healing, graciousness, acceptance. Thank you for something positive. And then we have the keeper of whispers, the mad prophet, curiosity, madness, forbidden knowledge. I truly cannot wait to see the reading that we get out of this deck. I'm shooting this in July of 2024, July 11th, and there's some shit going on. So I can't wait to see, as I just said, let's give it a blessing. Wow, I mean, it's certainly different. It's not your standard keywords and things for Oracle decks. It's certainly not a Pollyanna deck, you know, where everything's love and light. All right, I feel like this deck is kind of majestic. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. I feel like that sage is going to take off on me. So be it. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. Blessed and made whole, but not warped. Thank you very much. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit awaken within you. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, I bid you welcome, and I offer gratitude for your being here, and I offer gratitude to Jason Engel and Rabbit, what was it, Rabbit Stoddard? What an interesting name, and particularly because I'm a Dark Shadows freak, and Stoddard is a big name in that world. So I offer gratitude to the author and artist. I offer gratitude to my guides and guardians, and I ask for all of your aid in getting a good reading out of this that makes sense for everybody. And I offer you fresh water, and I offer you the fire of Azrael, that the spirit of divination awaken in this deck. And notwithstanding the number of languages in a book of a Lo Scarabeo deck, and Tarot as well, there are many that I really love. The Dark Mirror is one of them, and I'm coming up blank for the rest, but LS has some great oracle decks, and to everything its purpose. So here we go. Let's shuffle, not really anticipating problems, and there aren't any. I mean, we almost got exactly the perfect back and forth, right? All right, now let's do a couple of cuts. I'm going to riffle a couple more times. So, total pleasure to shuffle. I could sit here and shuffle it all day, but we're not going to shuffle it all day. We are going to do this here. All right, now, please, in the spirit of this deck of author and artist, please, 6 cards, help us find our way through these trying times. What do we need to know today in order to stay present, in order to bring all of our skill, all of our wisdom, all of our compassion to this moment in time? Whether it's this moment in time, specifically July of 2024, or whatever moment in time you are watching this video. So, what do we need to know? One more. Okay. So, as I go, we have one in the middle, the Mother of Dawn, beauty, agency, and compassion. Then we have Set, avarice, short-sightedness, ambition, narcissism. Then we have Jean the Maid, guardian of saints, humility, disillusionment, champion. Hades, equanimity, wisdom, inevitability. Matriarch, rejection, opportunities, consequences. And the last is Vamp, caretaker of the lost, respite, assistance, memory. All right, let's work our way through. I'm going to start going intuitively. Pull them down a little bit. And just see where that gets me. Okay? So we start off with the emissary. So a spirit being comes from one place to us to bring us a message. And, as the beginning of this deck, it's kind of nice that the emissary shows up right off the bat saying, this is someone from the other side, the other realms, coming to deliver something. And she delivers beauty, agency, and compassion. So agency is empowerment. It's our power of choice. Beauty is what we're here to bring to the world, right? Beauty and compassion. But the agency keyword there says it's our choice whether we bring those things or not. It's not inevitable. It's not just, because you're here, you're bringing all these things. We need to activate our agency. We need to use our choice in order to bring it. Then we have short-sightedness, ambition, and narcissism. So on this side, we've been very short-sighted, collectively. Everything has been about, ambition and narcissism. These are things we're dealing with culturally, globally right now. The ones who would trample everybody in pursuit of their ambition. Narcissism, the rules don't apply to me. And avarice, it's greed. This is greed in a nutshell. And then on this side, it's almost like the antidote. Yeah, narcissism, humility. It's the antidote. Short-sightedness, disillusionment. So we're in that short-sightedness of what we do doesn't have consequences. Whatever I do in the present, if it feeds my ambition, if it feeds my greed, if it gets me what I want in this present moment, it's all good, right? The means justify the end. And no, the end justifies the means, is what I want to say. And that's extremely short-sighted. So she comes to disillusion us from that and bring some humility about it. Who do we think we are that we deserve more than anybody else? You know? Who do these ones think they are when they are talking about being superior, being better than anyone, deserving more, you know, actively trying to, in the service of their ambition, trying to rob the rest of us of our agency, of our agency. And then we have champion over here. So we've got this big, you know, and look at her. She is unarmored. She's vulnerable. She looks like she's wrapped in a bath towel, honestly. But she's clutching this sword. And it looks like she's in a graveyard. Guardian of saints. So those who have sacrificed, she is here to step up for those of us who are, you know, we're not saints, let's be honest. But we can have the aspiration of a saint to bring benefit, to bring beauty. And she is our champion. All right. Then down here, so we kind of see the whole thing set up. She's bringing this message of, hey, hello, let this dawn on you. We're dealing with this greed and narcissism, and we need to find that champion in ourselves, that humility, disillusion ourselves from the whole greed dance and become our own champion. Then, next layer down, Hades and Matriarch. I'm looking to see, we have 1, 2, 3, 3 cards from Hades. We have 2 from the Duat, and we have 1 from that first one, Pandemonium, I believe. Is that Pandemonium? Okay, you know what I'm seeing different now? Looking at the back. Jean the Maid, is she part of Pandemonium? No, she isn't. Okay, now I'm really confused. She is. Okay, and now here's the reason for my grumpiness. Do you see what I have to do here? Jean the Maid. Okay, so she's in this last one, the Realm of Sheol. So that's a different one. So we have 2 Dwat, we have 3 Hades, and we have 1 Sheol. Okay. So anyway, down here, Hades, Lord of Riches. And look at, he comes up right next to Set. All right. Doing my morning stuff this morning, and I was doing my Tara practice, and I was using the Tara wisdom cards here. And I watched a video of a Tara dance offering, and there was one that stood out to me, and it was the distributor of wealth. And she is one of the fierce Taras. She's dark blue, and she talks about trampling the earth and shaking the foundations of things. And she is called the distributor of wealth. She is fierce because she sees that there are these people that hoard things. And she is trampling things to make sure to just bust all that up and make sure that the wealth that the earth freely gives us is distributed evenly to all its creatures, that everyone has what they need, right? So he's looking over here. Look at them looking at each other. The Prince of Avarice and the Lord of Riches. So the Lord of Riches is saying everybody deserves this golden apple, you fuckhead. He is fiercely looking at Set here and saying there is enough for everybody. And equanimity means that we don't react one way or another, whether it's abundance or lack, whether it's something we like or something we hate. We can view everything with equanimity, right? And not get upset. This is the no cure for hot and cold kind of thing. That, if it's a hot day and you don't like the heat, why get angry about it? There's nothing you can do about it if you just can find that place of equanimity. So equanimity, wisdom, and inevitability. Inevitability is that this is coming down. This short-sightedness, this ambition and narcissism is coming down. Wisdom sees through that. And we have this champion here. Then we have the matriarch. Rejection, opportunities, consequences. So he's the one that says, hell no to this guy. We are going to make sure that everyone gets what they need. And here, opportunities and consequences. So the champion shows up to say, we are going to open this up and move against here. So everyone has opportunity. What are we rejecting? We're rejecting this shit. The consequences of greed. And what is greed? It comes from a mindset of lack. And that's a shame. That's where the compassion gets engaged, is these people are so messed up in the head. They're so fucked up. A narcissist in particular, I was raised by one, 1.5 maybe. And true narcissism, one of the key characteristics of it from the standpoint of being an empath is that there's no core. There's nothing at the center, right? They are so, and narcissistic personality disorder comes from early childhood trauma, and it sets this disconnect from that core, from that soul. Doesn't mean they're soulless. It means they're disconnected from their true center. And so what happens is they become completely externally referenced. And, it was like that with my mother when she was living here. And I tried, to reach out and feel what was there. And I just felt this empty core. And that really engaged my compassion, number one. But again, so externally referenced. And this is why their ego is so incredibly fragile, because the slightest bit of rejection coming at them from outside and their whole, self-view can come crashing down. So they armor themselves with this infallibility, with this perfection. I am perfect, and that's the way it is. So anytime rejection or a different message comes, it just kind of bounces off that armor. And so down at the bottom here, we have the caretaker of the lost. Wow. So now, having talked about narcissism that way, I'm looking at this and going, and she's looking this way. Who are the lost? These people that are so disconnected from their core. And just because you've had early trauma doesn't mean you're a narcissist, right? Certainly trauma disconnects us from ourselves. When we try to run from the pain, we have to kind of build a wall because it's there, When trauma is in your energy system, you can't make it go away. There's one way to make it go away, and that's through. That's by acknowledging the trauma, by seeing the trauma, and by the willingness to go into it and feel it. And so, those that are truly narcissists have lost that ability. It's a disorder. They've lost that ability. But no matter how traumatized you are, if you have not lost that ability, there is always the way through. There's always a way. So she is here to bring us back into the fold, the caretaker of the lost. Respite, assistance, memory. All right, I'm gonna. So I'm thinking here that she is like here to help us gather in those who are still redeemable, you know, and those that have been lost to our really hostile culture that we're living through right now. We are in kind of a hostile work environment, right? Lots of bullies, lots of narcissists. And so she is feeling to me like the part of us that is rising up in support of those that have been harmed and lost. We have champions. We have consequences that are being brought and opportunities being opened up, and the Lord of Riches demanding equanimity, demanding equality. All right, let's read. Okay, here we go. Mother of Dawn. So I have to go through and find Hades, and then I have to find the Mother of Dawn. Once a mortal woman of legendary beauty, the Mother of Dawn now represents the populace of Hades. They spelled populace wrong. Communicating their interests to the powers of the realm. In life, her beauty was used as a prize to be granted to others for their deeds and valor, irrespective of her own wishes. Oh, her beauty was used as a prize. So this is like Helen of Troy, right? Her beauty was used as a prize, irrespective of her own wishes. So there's the agency. In death, she's free of these constraints and chooses to exercise the agency that she was denied in life in service of others. The Mother of Dawn illuminates the path of compassion and kindness, demonstrating that the difference between service and servitude is the power to choose. That's wonderful. It is in this power, ensuring that it's available to all, that true beauty is found. So that's wonderful. So she has this message about the difference between service and servitude. That's absolutely beautiful. And to engage our agency, and to, one of the attributes of Tara, Green Tara, is that she is willing to use her beauty to attract people to her in order to teach them and bring them benefit. Okay, so we have her calling us to service. Then we have Set, who's going to be in Duat. I guess I'm getting there kind of quick. It could be easier, though. Prince of Avarice, exiled and isolated, Set plots with outsiders, capital O, and demons for the overthrow of Duat and to undermine the other gods that dwell there. Concerned for nothing and no one but his own ambitions, he cannot see that his present state of solitary punishment has been brought about by himself and his jealousy. Yes. So I want to come back to the narcissism here and say that we're not necessarily talking about people with that personality disorder. We're talking about those traits. What are those traits? I'm perfect. I can do no wrong. Consequences don't apply to me. I can get out of anything, whatever, through my money and ambition. And so that's the enemy. That kind of hubris. Okay. He desires rulership of the realm, even if he must destroy it and all that it represents to obtain it. Oh my God. I'm going to read that sentence again. See if this reminds you of any one person or several people, maybe. He desires rulership of the realm, even if he must destroy it and all that it represents to obtain it. Holy shit. He has not considered what he will do once he is ruler of an empty, featureless, demon-ridden waste. Set warns us of the dangers of unbridled ambition and self-absorption. Fucking hell. Okay, and now Jean the Maid. And where was she again? She's in the last one. All right. Guardian of Saints. The shepherd of lost souls in Sheol, Jean was a noble and pious hero in life, martyred for her trouble. She prefers to avoid the politics and machinations of Mausolea on the whole, serving instead those who need her help and who cannot help themselves. Jean demonstrates the world-weariness of those who have given as much as they can, that it can be wise to eschew the larger, more cynical conflicts for doing real, tangible good in a local way. A champion does not require a global stage. Holy shit, you guys. The larger, you can eschew the larger, more cynical conflicts. All right, so here's the call. Instead of dealing with the overall sickness that is on our planet right now, this is the call to bring it local, to do what you can, to be a champion of the downtrodden on the local level. Humility. Look at the innocence here, to avoid that cynicism of there's never going to be anything we can do. What a balance to this. All right. Okay, I'm liking this more as I go along. If you couldn't tell. Hades, Lord of Riches. Unlike the decadent, fickle gods of Olympus, Hades cares more for the people under his rule than he does for his own pleasure. He endures their sneers and abuses with equanimity, focused on his goals and his responsibilities, knowing that eventually all will come to an end in his realm. Hades reminds us to ignore petty, unworthy distractions and to focus on that which will make a real difference in the world. Wow. Okay, so here's a reminder that Hades isn't Satan. Hades isn't, the Lord of the Christian hell. Everyone goes to the underworld. This is just the realm of souls, and everyone goes there, and he welcomes them all in equanimity, and he makes sure that they're all taken care of, ultimately. So we are called to really forget about all the crap that is flying at us, not to be distracted by pettiness. Oh, is that pertinent? And just recognize distractions for what they are and focus on what we can do on a local level that will make a real difference. Okay, then we have Matriarch, and she is in the Duat. So like I said, this is getting easier as I go on because I can recognize the symbols at the bottom. There's only 6 cards in each section. There's only 32 pages to look through. Okay. A noble queen, and her subtitle is Mother of Homestead. A noble queen, the matriarch lived a righteous life, free from sins that would weigh her heart when she came before the scales of Anubis. I thought it was Mot. Save one, free from the sins, save one, the memory of which was lost to her. In her hubris, she and her king denied the gods of Duat the worship and fealty that was their right, incurring their wrath even unto death. Given this, she was cast into the desert, where she established the homestead, a refuge for other wanderers, exiles, and lost ones. Okay. So she made a home for those who were rejected. The matriarch reminds us that while there are some mistakes from which there is no redemption, maintaining a core of self, nobility, and dedication of right behavior will nonetheless provide opportunities, even if it is not the original plan. Okay, so the core of self. Remember we were talking about not having a core? This is the core of self. And that core has a conscience, right behavior. There's no sense in falling prey to personal disappointment. Your true value will be seen and understood by others. Okay. So there is a place for us even if we're feeling rejected. reclaiming that core. And then Vanth. She is Hades. All right. Caretaker of the lost. Vanth guides the dead who become sidetracked or misled to their proper places. An agent of Hades' mercy, and look at, she comes right next to him. An agent of Hades' mercy, she helps them recall that which they most need to know about themselves to continue on in the afterlife. So she's reminding us of who we really are. Benevolent and dedicated, Vanth provides that which is most needed at the point where it is most needed. She inspires us to trust those we depend on, and that the tools which will aid us will be there, or will be easily found at the critical moment. It is important to rest, to breathe, and not to give in to panic and fear. Wow. Respite, assistance, memory. I mean, I think I could pick better keywords for most of these so far. Trust that things will be there. She's going to take care of whoever is lost and whatever is lost. We can trust that she's going to bring us what we need when we need it. This is sounding a lot like Green Tara. Important to rest. That's the respite. Take a break. Benevolent and dedicated. So she's there to gather in all that have been lost and rejected. She's like that. She is she's a big reassurance here at the end that we're going to find what we need in order to reclaim our own selves, the core of ourselves. Hades is this huge guardian against these people here, these policies, these people, these ways of being. And the mother of dawn that came out saying, I have a great message for you. Here comes a new dawn. It's on the horizon. And we have these two, the caretaker of the lost and the mother that created a homestead in the desert for all those that have been rejected, and a champion and a guardian. Wow. You guys, this is something. And this little thing here that talks about working on a local level, if I may get topical for a moment, this really does talk about the times that we're in, what we're going through, and what we can do. And it is a message of hope. So, damn, you guys, I just took a look and I was thinking, oh, this is a smaller deck, so how wonderful, because it's not going to be that long of a video. And 1 hour later, holy crap. What do you think, you guys? So I start off with big grumpiness and low expectations, but it's deep, you know? It really is a deep deck. These aren't surfacey pat answers. You do need to dig into the writing in the deck and really give consideration. I can't wait to do a personal reading. I guess, you know, personally, well, I'm not going to keep going. It's been an hour. Let me know what you think down below. Hit like if you would, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.